Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to show you how I do my everyday foundation routine. It's very simple, not a lot of steps, so if you're interested in finding out how I do it, keep watching. Alright, so let's get started. All I have on my face right now is my moisturizer, and I use the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. It's really light, but also really hydrating at the same time, so I really enjoy that. The first thing that I do on my face, if I'm not using a primer, which for every day just running around doing errands, I don't use a primer, but for special events or if I just want to make my skin look extra flawless, I will use a primer, but not today. So I'm going to start with my Maybelline Cover Stick Concealer, and the shade is Light Beige. And my skin, I don't have that many blemishes right now, so I'm really just going to apply this liberally underneath my eyes and on my eyelids because that's where the darkness is in my face. So I'm just going to apply a very generous amount of this. I really like this concealer because it's very like heavy coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy. It's very thin, but covers really well for dark circles and blemishes. And I like to apply my concealer before my foundation because I think it just gives a more even finish. But it's really up to you what you prefer. So that's what I'm doing for my concealer. And now next, for foundation, I have to mix my foundation right now because I'm kind of in between my darker foundation and my lightest foundation. So the darker one that I'm using is Revlon Color Stay for normal to dry skin in the shade 200 Nude. And then the lighter one is CoverGirl Smoothers All Day Hydrating Makeup in 730 Classic Beige. And both of these are moisturizing because in the winter I have very dry skin. And I really need all the moisture I can get, and I pretty much just do equal parts of both of these on the back of my hand. Just blend it just like this on my hand. And I always use my fingers. I find that my fingertips will really warm up the product, and it allows you to just really smoothly glide the foundation all over your face. And just kind of rub in almost as if I was doing a moisturizer. I don't like a super heavy coverage for every day, so I don't like to use a brush or something like that would give me fuller coverage, because I just kind of want to look natural and not really done up or anything, because I'm pretty much just running errands today. So I get on my eyelids too. Okay, so it's pretty much all rubbed in. I'm just gonna go over, make sure I really did get it everywhere. And then I'm going to take what's left on my hand, which isn't that much, and apply it underneath my chin and blend along the jawline, because you don't want to get the line of demarcation, which is when your foundation ends right at your jawline and you can tell that it's like a different shade than your neck is, and you just see like orange versus your skin tone. It's just not a good look, so I want to make sure to really blend that. So I think that's pretty much it for foundation. Alright, and next I'm going to use my CoverGirl's Smoothers Translucent Powder, and the shade is Translucent Medium. And I just use an EcoTools powder brush to apply this, just all over my face. This brush is so soft. I love it. I have Sigma face brushes, Sephora face brushes, more expensive ones, but I always go back to this because it's just really soft and so much less expensive. Okay, so now the powder is all over my face. Because I use foundation that is formulated for drier skin, it's a little more dewy, so I want to make sure that I set it with the powder, otherwise I'm going to look shiny as heck throughout the day, and that's just never a good look. If you're using a foundation that's formulated for oily skin, you probably won't have that issue, so just gauge and see how your face looks throughout the day, and if you decide you want to apply a powder, totally fine. If not, also great. Now, underneath my eyelids, I have some creasing, so the foundation and concealer kind of gets like stuck under there, and like throughout the day I'll notice it and it looks really bad. So I take this really small EcoTools concealer brush and I just put it back in the powder, and this just lets me like get into that little crease, and it's very helpful. So my camera just fell. Sorry about that, guys. I just put powder all over my face. And now I'm moving on to bronzer. And I love the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Powder in Sunny. It's really not orange at all. It's pretty matte. It's not even really satin. It's a pretty matte finish. I also really like NARS Laguna. I recently ran out of it, so I just picked this one up at the drugstore because it was very much less expensive than the NARS Laguna. So I'm using the same brush, the EcoTools powder brush, to do this because it actually kind of comes to a more like tapered end. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but you can actually do some good contouring with it. So basically I just want to apply it mainly on the hollows of my cheekbones and then my temples, and then I'll kind of blend it all over. I get really pale in the middle of winter, so I need to make sure I do something to kind of warm up my face. Okay, so I think that's pretty much good. Now, really the last step of my foundation face makeup is filling in my eyebrows. As you can probably tell, they're pretty thin, a little bit patchy in some spots. They don't really have a big arch. They're not the greatest, but I work with what I have. So I'm going to take the Urban Decay Naked palette, and if I open it up, this color right here, Naked, it matches my eyebrow color pretty well. So I'm going to take this angled brush by Sephora. It's pretty old. I don't know if they still make the same one, but I'm sure they have an angled brush. Just get a little on there. And then basically I just kind of use like little strokes to kind of follow the natural shape of my eyebrows. And just fill them in. Don't really have a method, just kind of short strokes. Get it all the way out to the edge. And I recently got my hair colored a little bit darker. And so now if I don't fill in my eyebrows, I look very strange, like kind of washed out, and I don't know, my eyebrows almost disappear. So this is really an essential step for me. Okay, and that's pretty much it for filling them in. Now the very last step that I do is I use a clear brow gel. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brand. You can use anything. I just happen to have a little, this is just a sample that I got at some point. And so you literally just paint it on, and this just keeps them in place. And looking good. Okay, so that's pretty much it for my foundation routine. I'm going to go finish up all my makeup and I'll be right back with you guys. So I'm all set and ready to go. Have my full face of makeup done. I just wanted to say thanks for stopping by. If you guys have any comments, questions, or any requests for future videos, please leave a comment in the description box. Thanks guys. Have a great day.